Hello, everybody.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Mario, what's up, man? Kai, what's up? Gianluca, what's up? Hello,
what's up,
everyone. Gianluca says that first chord is straight out of Deadhead by Devin Townsend.
Oh, I can hear that for sure, yeah.
We were actually...
Oh, yeah, what is it?
We were messing around with some Devin Townsend-y stuff the other day, so that's a good shout out. It's fresh in our minds. What up, Brandon? Hope everyone can hear us. So we've tested this stuff extensively, but the truth is this is our first YouTube live stream.
That's right.
We've been streaming in the Balaguer Guitars Facebook discussion group for the last year or two, for anyone who doesn't know. And for anyone who doesn't know, because this is episode 1, of the YouTube Friday live stream. This is Joe Balaguer, the man, the myth, the legend.
This is Jake Trowbridge, Director of Operations at Balaguer Guitars.
That's me, shout out. And we have been doing this every other Friday for the last long time. And we wanted to migrate it to YouTube. So if you've missed it, because you don't have a Facebook or because you don't do the whole group thing on Facebook, now we're out in the wild for the entire world to see.
That's right.
More people to make fun of us when we flub stuff while we're jamming.
Yeah.
So, for those of you, if it is your first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. Obviously, everyone who has been here a long time, Mario, Kai, Brandon, and everyone else, thank you so much. It means a lot to us that you would come hang out with us here as well. Dusty Wagner, hey, Joe. What do you know, old friend?
Hello.
So anyway, for those of you who don't know, typically what we do on the Friday live stream is we chat up the local goings-on of Balaguer. Usually that isn't what we talk about the whole time, although sometimes we have big goings-on that we like to talk about. Ooh, squeaky chair. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Might have to get some WD-40 on that one.
Yeah, something.
That's Joe's favorite sound. And so we usually chat stuff like that out. And then we also chat about everything else. We like to have little jams in between.
It's true.
We typically run through quad cortexes. We typically play Balaguer guitars. We typically make total fools of ourselves. Or I make a total fool of myself. Let me not put that on Joe.
It's a fun hang, for sure.
It's always a good hang. We're happy to have everyone. Anyone who's been around Balaguer a long time knows how we are about everything that we get involved in, whether it's in a Facebook group or now on YouTube or anywhere else. We just like to get everyone as involved as possible.
Yep.
So here we are. If it's your first time, drop a comment. We'd like to know and say hello and welcome you to the live stream. And we're glad everything's working because, like I said, we were a little stressed. We tested a whole bunch of stuff out.
Yeah.
We have an amazing new studio space, which is what we're going to talk about, at least to get started.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who has been to the NAMM show and hung out with us will recognize some of these things, like the sign.
It's a big old sound.
And yeah, we recently moved into a completely new space as a business, and this is the studio space, part of what we built out, part of the big improvement that we've been going through. It's been a long and arduous process. Everything is new and improved, and it's definitely rad. So
yeah, we were at our old space for about 5 years. So the move-in process in and of itself was difficult just because we had so much stuff. And we were moving into a space that was really bare bones, but in a good way, because we had the ability to kind of build it out how we saw fit. So this showroom here is really a brand new space, not just for us, but for the space that we're in.
Yeah.
New paint, new electric, everything. So it's a cool little spot.
New day, new me.
That's right. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting these live streams going and to just do a bunch more YouTube content in general.
Yes.
So
we are very stoked, and we appreciate everyone's patience. Everyone who has been in the live stream and is always there. You know, we were out for a couple of weeks getting all this stuff sorted.
Yep.
And then we sort of stopgapped with some like cell phone live stream video, basically, and now we're here. We've done a couple of upgrades. We've upgraded the mic setup, so you'll see these funny little things on our necks. So those are the microphones, which are much better than the previous condenser mic setup. We're still running quad cortexes because we love them. The difference now is instead of us running a single quad cortex that we're both feeding off of, we each have our own quad cortex. So we have completely different signals now. So if I wanted to play a pretty clean sound, I could, and Joe could solo over it. So you get the idea. And then, of course, we can do all of the things that we've always done. You know, and we have our own independent control. So that's super nice.
Yeah, the squeals.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Well, for the people that may not be aware of like what guitars we're playing and why we're playing them and stuff like that, you know, we could go through what you're playing, what I'm playing.
Sure.
And then get into kind of just how we set everything up here and what the folks are hearing.
Yeah, so the basic setup, which is, you know, we talk to you while we're playing the guitar. The guitars are run through the quad cortexes out directly, so we're all direct signaled with cab IRs on everything. Everything in here, in the rigs we're using right now, is stock. So we usually talk about the rig a bit when we start. This is all stock built-in neural stuff. It's actually a preset of mine that is a boosted Uberschall for the gain tone, Mesa JP2C for the lead tone, and a Mesa JP2C for the clean tone. And then there are a couple of other goofball things in there, but that's the basic sound, clean, crunch, and lead.
Yep.
We're both running the same thing today just to make it equal. Next time we'll probably start spicing it up with our own stuff, which is usually what we do at some point.
Yeah.
It's all running through their stock IR of the 90s Mesa Traditional 412. I have an SM57 and a Royer 121 on them. Gianluca bridging the squeaky chair sound with pinch harmonics. Yes,
that's right. Unsubscribe.
Yeah, unsubscribe. quit. Dislike. Thumbs down.
Yeah.
I was here for one stream and all I did was squeak that GD chair the whole time.
Yep.
Yeah, that's us. But that's the basic setup of the rig itself. Mics and camera and all of that fun stuff. We now have a stream deck, so we can do fun things like this. just to freak everybody out, which is a good time. It means I don't have to walk in and out of the frame every time I get up, which is nice.
It's true.
And of course, we are today and most days playing Balaguer Guitars, which, man, really got to spray this chair. Which, if you're unfamiliar with the brand, if this is your first time seeing anything, obviously it's the name of the channel, which is the name of these guitars. This is Joe Balaguer. That's why we call him the man, myth, and legend, because he founded this, started this, has designed all of these.
By we, he means he.
No,
he calls me that.
We happen to both be playing the same model today in different versions. So this is the Woodman, which is a relatively familiar shape with some modern appointments, which, if you don't know Balaguer Guitars, is a pretty good summary of what we do. Vintage inspiration, modern design, where something like this has, a forearm contour, belly cuts, more rounded edges, so it's more comfortable to play. It's more ergonomic. This one's a baritone scale. You can get it, mine's 26.5. You can get it in 26.5. This has an Evertune on it, obviously. Our pickups, 16-inch radius and stainless steel frets, locking tuners, the types of things that modern guitarists typically demand, because it is, they're designed, and again, I'm not trying to put words in Joe's mouth, but they are basically designed for you to be able to do whatever you want while still having a vintage aesthetic if you want it to.
Yeah, Jake hit the nail on the head. I can't really add much more than that. But yeah, no, Jake's specific build is a select custom.
Yep.
So we have a bunch of different series that you can go through on our website, learn all about, what we do. And I'm not going to go through all the granular bullet points of everything, but this is a customized guitar which you can order on our website, different colors, different wood choices, etc. This is also a Woodman model, same body shape, obviously a slightly different finish. This is a vintage white. That's our metallic blueberry.
Yeah.
And these also have the same pickups in them, which are fission buckers. And then this is a Hipshot hardtail bridge instead of an Evertune. This is a standard 25.5-inch scale guitar, instead of Jake's being slightly baritone at 26.5. Both have the same necks, roasted maple.
Yep.
Bolt-on.
Blam.
Both have ebony fingerboards.
Yeah.
So yeah, these guitars are actually really similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah, basically the bridges and the body woods and the scale lengths are the main difference.
Yeah.
Gianluca says, do you guys do 25.5 to 27.5-inch multi-scale?
No. So we do 25.5 to 27.
Yeah. So you're close.
Yes. And we do that in multiple string variants as well.
6, 7, 8. And then you can do, so we have multiple multi-scales. You can do 24 3/4 to 25.5, 25.5 to 27.
Right.
And on and on. And then standard scale, non-multi-scale, basically all the typical scales. So you can do 24 3/4, 25.5, 26.5, 27, 28.5, and even 30, which many people will know, especially Kai, who's in the chat, who has one. We did a 30-inch growler baritone run later last year, earlier this year, and it was a monstrous success, and is obviously a 30-inch baritone long boy.
Yeah.
And those are a lot of fun. And we do that we do extended scales for all of our models. So if you're interested in, if you see something you like and you don't think it looks modern enough, the thing is you can spec it out to be modern. That's kind of the vibe, right?
Yep.
Is you can take a more traditional shape like this, symmetrical shape, or a super offset shape, and either way make it a 28.5-inch so you can tune it to drop Z and do your thing. And all that is available in just about every model. There are a couple of limitations based on really specific situations, but pretty much you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, and speaking of the growler model, that is an offset J style shape.
Yeah.
And we did those, I think, in rustic black, which is like an open pore finish, and then satin olive drab green.
Yes.
I think we have one of the green ones left, but other than that, it's fully sold out, that run.
Yeah,
the
they are
30-inch
gone.
Scale. Yep.
They did very well. They're very cool.
Yep.
So something that I think, Kai, 30 inches, what's up? So Kai's the guy that I mentioned who has a 30-inch baritone, and it's really rad. They're fun guitars to play. I think people people might play, and I'm going to throw a name out there. You might play like a Squier baritone, like a bass 6, right? And it's built like a vintage instrument because bass 6s were vintage instruments.
Right.
If you want the long scale and the vibe, but modern playability to actually be able to set it up to play like a modern guitar, that's an example of something we like to do. And it ranges, right? You can go multi-scale, 8-string, super modern shape if you want. We have a bunch of signature shapes, Joe's original designs that are really, really great. The Espada would be our big flagship. That seems to be the one everyone, including us, love. There's one sitting right there, 2 sitting right there. And they're always around. But yeah, you can kind of do whatever you want. Brandon, that's what you got him. Kai says bring back 30-inch Evertune as an option, though.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, that's a fun one. We did Evertune. We dropped Evertune from 30-inch builds. You can only get it 28.5 inches and less in scale.
Just wait for spooky season.
Yeah, we're working on it. It won't be long. But yes, our favorite season. Immediately orders a 30-inch Grace with an Evertune, Joe Lucas says. Thank you. Boy, I'm telling you, y'all have to let us know how it sounds in the comments, but having the Stream Deck and the ability to drop the vocal mics so you don't get string noise when we're riffing a little bit, that's like been the number one thing we've been looking forward to. And in the testing, it sounded great. But if y'all can hear the difference, which you should be able to, it should be pretty rad. You know, we used to do it like this, where, you know, you can hear the string noise as we play. Now I can. And you get the pure guitar noise, which is cool. We're stoked about that. And yes, Gianluca, you should absolutely order a 30-inch Grace. And I'll tell you what, if you want an Evertune on it, we'll do it. Reach out to us. Because that's freaking, that's wild. Come on, how do you pass on a 30-inch Evertune? It has to be in a normal tuning, though. That's the only catch.
No holds barred over here.
30-inch solid body Grace. Solid body Grace with an Evertune, Kai says.
I'm into that.
That would be brutal.
Flat top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time. That would be brutal. I like that idea.
Put your back brace on.
Gianluca says, also love the customizability of the Diablo, hoping more people become aware of that model. Yeah. Thank you for the kind words. And that's definitely, if we're honest, it's sort of creeped up as like the number 2, number 3. Since Joe released the Diablo, it's been a massive success. I'm happy to say. Thank you to everyone who's checked them out or bought one or built one.
For sure.
Man, they're sick. They really are. It's sort of the full modern leaning bit, right? It's an offset, double cut, huge access, spec it out to shred or to drop it super low.
Yeah.
We get a lot of 7-string, like 27-inch builds with the Diablo. A lot of them with Evertunes on them. A lot of Floyds in 25.5 to like really get that 80s shred vibe on.
That's one cool thing I've seen lately is not going ultra modern, but kind of pulling it back a bit, putting a pick guard on it, putting a Floyd Rose, doing a classic finish. Like there was one that came in recently that was Silver Bursts.
Oh yeah.
Black pick guard, maple neck, maple fingerboard, Floyd Rose trem, and so there's
Seymour Duncan distortions.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot you can do with the configurator to make each body shape kind of be tailored towards what you dig.
Yeah, yeah. Brandon says, Druid.
Yeah,
you don't have long to wait, man. It's definitely about making it your own. That's the vibe that we go for with everything. So If you don't know, go to BalaguerGuitars.com. We have an online configurator for guitars and basses. So you can spec it out however you want, and it shows you in real time what that spec looks like. So you can check it out. You can put Seymour Duncan pickups in your semi-hollow Grace, and you could do vintage Seymour Duncans. Like you could do Antiquities or something like that. Or you could do a flat top 30-inch Grace with bare knuckle, like a War Pig and something else in it. Like you can go nuts. We work with EMG, bare knuckle, Porter, Lambertone, Seymour Duncan, and of course we make our own pickups, which I'm very happy to say have become very popular aside from just being in our guitars, where we have lots of people ordering them for their own guitars.
Plus the cauterizers, Devin's signature set.
Oh yeah, so we make Devin Scheidecker, guitarist in the Acacia strain, all around rad dude, and also employee at Balaguer, who does all of our artist relations, has his signature pickup, the cauterizer, which if you're wanting like pummeling but not rip your head off high end, like that's how I would describe it. It's just like getting hit with a sledgehammer.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Really well balanced, but very aggressive for sure.
Yeah, great pickup set. And of course, he has a signature model with us as well, which you should check out. But yeah, you can spec all that stuff: body woods, neck woods, fingerboard woods, pickups, controls. And since it's episode 1, I'll throw it out there. We also have off the menu options. So if there's something you don't see in the builder that you really want, just reach out to us. info@BalaguerGuitars.com. You can also find that on the website, on our website, BalaguerGuitars.com. We do a lot of things, so reach out to us and we'll see what's up.
Yeah, on that note as well, besides the off-menu items, the pickup companies that we do work with, we can only show a limited amount of their models within our configurator. Otherwise, the lists would be gigantic. So if you see that we carry Seymour Duncan or EMG or whatever your favorite pickup company may be, we can get anything they make.
Yeah.
Just because it's not in the builder doesn't mean we cannot get it. So just shoot us an email first.
Yep.
And we even do custom shop, like Seymour Duncan pickups for people.
Yeah, if you want to do something off their books even, we work with them for stuff like that too.
So just something to note.
Yeah, and it's a cool opportunity to really spec out the stuff that you want. Kai says Hypernovas and Evergreens are 10 out of 10 sets. And Brandon agrees.
Thank you, dude.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
guys.
For
those of you who don't know, and again, you can check out, we have a pickups page on our website. You can see our pickups. The Evergreens are our lowest output humbuckers. They're basically like medium PAFs vibed. They cover a lot of classic tones. They have a lot of clarity. So a lot of ambient guys like them. That's why we put them in the ambient Espada. They also just do really well for all of the tones because they're not too low output. Yeah. They're not too high output. They're very clear. You can do a lot of things with them. The Hypernova on the other end of the spectrum is our highest output humbucker, which or our highest output standard construction humbucker. It's ceramic magnet. It's aggressive. It's loud. It's powerful. Yep. It's definitely edgy. Like it's got some hair to it, so that it really cuts through. That and the Muramasa, which is essentially it's also ceramic magnet, but it's got blade poles in it, so it's like super tight, almost like an active meets passive kind of sound. Yeah, really nice compression.
The upper mids are way more pronounced, so it cuts through with lower tunings.
Yeah, and be sure to check those out. Yeah, the Muramasas, especially if you're going real low, sound ripping. I know I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, but Gianluca says, I know you guys have probably gotten this question before, but any plans to show the back of the guitars on the builder?
Yes.
We've never got that question before.
No,
we get that question all the time.
Yeah, it's one of the, I think, highest reoccurring feature requests we've received
for the builder
over the years for the configurator. Yeah, it is definitely on our radar. It takes a lot of development, work and time and energy. So it's not a matter of if, it's just when we can get that implemented into the builder.
Yes. You can hold us to it. One day it will be there.
It will, yeah.
And especially, we talk about options that people can ask about. Popular requests are, I want a black back, like a top color with binding and then black back, or natural back and sides, but paint on top. Like that's stuff that we do that if you could see the back, you would see. Right now, again, just reach out to us. It's almost never a no for stuff like that because that's pretty standard fare.
Yeah.
But good question and a popular one. I am itching to riff.
Let's do it.
He says as he hits the octave button. Look at this Stream Deck action right here. You see? Look, can you see? I'm looking at the monitor. Look at my hand. Going over here. Stream Deck. No more talkie. Only guitar. If you haven't tried a quad cortex, just try one. You saw Joe had to point there because I'm not used to switching the mics on and off, and I was about to start talking. Gianluca. Oh yeah, we already got that one. Juan, hey, what's up, dude? You guys are looking great.
Hey, Juan, how
Thank
are
you,
you,
man, and good to see you. Juan has been around the brand a long time and is a really rad dude.
Yes, he is.
Thanks for stopping in, man. Good to hear from you. Excuse me. Yeah, so Balaguer Guitars. That's who we are. That's what we do. And we're in the new space and we're loving it.
New space, new shop.
Yeah, new space, new shop, new tools. Speaking of new tools, maybe you want to talk about some of the new tools?
Yeah. So
things that people might not be super familiar with?
Yeah. We moved in, I would say 3 or 4 weeks ago, almost a month ago now. Actually, a little over a month ago now. Wow, time flies. But we recently acquired a new CNC machine, which is going to allow us to start milling more of the USA stuff at a higher rate of production, but also allow us to prototype much easier. So having a nice CNC machine in shop is just going to broaden our horizons, not just for our USA builds, both Heritage Series, which are custom one-off guitars, but also our USA production guitars. It'll allow us to do some cool prototyping stuff and just further push the envelope as to kind of what we offer, you know, reevaluating certain models, making certain custom bridges.
Cough.
Yeah, we're really excited about that. The other newest addition to the shop is a new paint booth.
Yes.
So we just acquired a paint booth that still needs to be, the room for it needs to be built out, but the booth itself is here. So that's going to be installed, which will allow us to just have way more flexibility in the crazy finishes that are kind of in both of our brains and Devin's brain as well, of what we've just been spitballing back and forth for a while now. So
right
I don't want to give I don't want to give too much away, but there's a really cool I think path ahead for us as far as the expansion of the USA line, but also just the ability to kind of match the creative output that is coming out of us in reality, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be really rad. It's something that ever since I've been on the Balaguer team, which is coming up on 5 years now, by the way, which is kind of crazy. Crazy in a good way, crazy in love. It's something we've always wanted to do, is really get the internal production work stuff to a level where we're not limited by anything.
Right.
And we're very close to that now, and it's very cool. So expect to see all sorts of awesome new things. Gianluca, you mentioned the back of the builder, or the back of the guitars being able to be visible in the builder. The other most popular request is custom finishes.
Yeah.
Which, for anyone who doesn't know, we used to do for anything. We've sort of limited that, but paint booths and CNCs and it just really opens the door for opens many doors for a lot of things that we really want to do.
Yeah, and I think now that we have this crazy setup in here, mostly thanks to Jake for setting it all up and figuring out the technical aspect of what we need and how we need to do it. So shout out to you.
Thank you.
But yes, and I think that will lend more in-shop content too, where once the CNC and the paint booth are set up, like we can give you all an insider's look into that type of stuff, which I'm really excited for as well, because I love watching that type of content. Myself.
Me too.
So
yeah, and that's everyone. We did a shop tour in the old shop, and people are always requesting a shop tour. Once we get everything laid out and moving, that's something we're definitely going to do. So we'll be sure to, keep everyone in the loop on that. For anyone who doesn't know, like I said earlier, we've done this live stream every other Friday. We're going to stick to that schedule. It's always at 2:30 p.m. on Eastern time on Fridays. We have everything set on YouTube now where you can go back and rewatch it. So if you miss it, feel free to check it out. Leave us a comment after the fact. Doesn't have to be live. We're always checking that stuff. But yeah, we really want to keep the whole thing pretty wide open. So of course, if you have any questions, let us know. Bass School. Oh, I like that name. Bought an 8-string Tartarus with a Floyd from you guys a few years ago. Amazing guitar. Thanks for offering niche options and being flexible with the builds.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's super rad.
I remember it. I remember it very
Do you?
Very vividly, yes, because it was one of the only 8-string Tartarus Floyd-equipped guitars we've ever done.
Ooh, I like that.
And it's, I remember, and I want to feel like I even remember your first name, but I'm not going to put it out there.
Yeah, we're going to dox him.
Because it's not in your username, so I don't want to I remember it was like a burl top with like a black burst edge. It was super sick looking with a gold 8-string Floyd Rose.
Oh, wow.
Thanks again for the support.
Fun fact about Joe, he has an actual like facial and name and guitar like photograph. I don't know how he does it. It's a vault up there.
It's an eidetic memory, unfortunately.
It's like, I'll be like, we'll get an email and I'll say, hey Joe, I got an email about this thing. And he'll say, oh yeah, I think that was June of 22 and I think the guy's name was this, and yeah, that had this. He'll just list all the specs. I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? How can you do that? It's awesome. Most of the time. But yeah, for sure. Thank you, man. That's awesome. Juan says, congrats on the new upgrades. Hell yeah, go Jake. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thanks, dude. It's definitely been an undertaking, and Joe's kind enough to give me a shout out, but it really has been a team effort. We had to get everything in here and do the whole thing and get it built out and painted and carpeted and bathrooms built and spaces and racks and signs, and it was a lot, for all of us, and we're a small team. you know, it's not like we're 50 people coming in here like an army. You know, it's 3 or 4 of us at any given time. And yeah, it was a lot of work, and we both worked really hard, and we're both super stoked with how it turned out. Obviously, none of that's possible without Tartarus 8 strings being ordered with gold Floyd roses.
Everyone, whether you order a guitar or not, you're definitely helping this continue on.
Yeah, thanks everyone for just participating and being around. William De Silva, hey dudes, love your guitars. Thanks. Got 2 of them. Plan on more as well. Awesome. Hell yeah. Now we're talking. Awesome. I like that. Kai says, is oil and wax still an option for roasted necks?
Yes.
It is, yes. In fact, that's what this neck is. This is how this neck is finished. That one's satin poly.
That's right.
This one's oil and wax, which, if I'm honest, I go back and forth on. I have guitars that are both. And the slick vibe of the satin natural poly is like, it's a super consistent feel and super slick. And it's just nice. The neck's also protected in a way that it isn't with oil and wax.
Right.
It doesn't require as much maintenance, all of that kind of stuff. It's super nice. It would be my choice if I knew that I was just going to destroy a guitar and not have time to like sit at home and treat it right. You know,
sure,
like if I'm on the road with it all the time, that's what I would do. But I do prefer oil and wax.
Yeah, it definitely feels different and it vibrates a bit differently too.
Yeah. Yeah, the oil and wax was something that my very first Balaguer was an oil and wax neck, and it's something that I kind of keep coming back to, which is a fun thing to do. But yes, definitely still an option, Kai. Yes, monster guitar, exactly correct. Hell yeah.
There you
go. But yeah, it's been, you know, a process, but we're stoked and we're moving along.
Yeah.
For those of you who have been in the live streams or have followed us, know that we have a couple of pre-orders out in the wild right now as well. Yes. We've been doing the Espada Limited and Espada Ambient runs for the last couple of years now, where once or twice a year we do a limited run of solid body Espadas, and then we started doing semi-hollow Espadas, which are killer guitars that I'm happy to say have become crazy popular. And that was a partnership with some ambient creators, Ambient Trash, Ambient Endeavors, Mark Johnston, all did an awesome job. We sort of, and when I say we, I mean Joe, collaborated with them on the design and how they were going to spec it and what that was going to look like. And they're just really killer guitars. And we are making more of them this year. They are nearly done. If you've not been around for a minute, both the Espada Limiteds and the Espada Selects are nearly done. So if you pre-ordered, Espada Ambients are nearly done. If you pre-ordered, it won't be long now. If you didn't pre-order and you're interested, go to the website. We have a section for them. There are literally, most of the finishes are sold out, but there are some that are still available. We're talking like 1s and 2s. So be sure to go check that stuff out if you're interested. There aren't many left.
Yeah.
Our dealers will have them. So you can go to the dealer section of our website and check out everyone who will have some of those guitars. But if you want to get them fresh off from us, you better do it soon because there aren't many left.
Speaking of dealers, do you want to speak a little bit to what we have going on that's more recent?
I do. The one other thing I want to say first is we also have the Growler T-Bar, which is the 3rd guitar available for pre-order in that bunch right now. That's been available for about the same amount of time. That's Tony Pizzuti, X the Word Alive, and playing with Sleeping with Sirens now. All around amazing dude. Hangs at NAMM, is like cream of the crop, good people, and built an awesome baritone growler guitar that has metallic finishes and two different finishes and like anodized looking pickguard. It's just so cool. And they play so good and they sound so awesome. I think one of the finishes is sold out and we have 1 or 2 of the other. That's another thing. Now, I will say that yes, dealers, we do have dealers. People often don't know that because they think we only build customs. And while that's a big part of what we do partner with dealers. We're very picky, so the number is very small relative to what you might expect from like a large brand. But yeah, we have dealers in New England up here in the Northeast near us in Pennsylvania. We have dealers in Canada. We have dealers in California. We have dealers in Australia, Japan,
Tennessee,
all over the States and all over the world. They pick up our guitars as they come out, so you can always hit them up. They're all on our website in the dealers section.
Yep.
Something relatively new, which if you've been around the brand, you've probably heard us hint at it enough to know, I would hope, what's coming. Shout out to Kai, who I know is especially excited about this, is we used to have representation in the UK, and things changed over time. We ended up not having that representation anymore. Well, we're going to again. We've partnered with someone awesome. All of those announcements will be released in due time with specific dealers, but we've partnered with Strings and Things. They're a distributor in the UK. Awesome group of people who met with us over the course of like a year. We really ironed it out, and they've just been really supportive, super awesome. So you're going to start seeing toward the end of this year, the guitars that I just mentioned that are available for pre-order will be in the UK.
Shout out to Alex.
Shout out to Alex, the man who was just the point guy from Strings and Things who took care of us. And, you know, we bonded over music and motorcycles and all sorts of goofy stuff. And he's just a rad guy. And what they have going on over there is legit. And it's the level of service that is it's a level of service that's very difficult to find.
Yes.
And they really make it count. And Alex specifically, shout out, has been awesome. So if you're in the UK or near the UK and you want to check out a Balaguer, that's something you're going to be able to do.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is super cool. And that won't be long. That'll be like by the end of this year. When these guitars are complete, when we start shipping them out to people, once they're QC'd and set up here in the States, they'll start arriving with all of our dealers as well. And you'll be able to put your hands on them if you live anywhere near them. And if you don't, let us know. We'll do what we can.
For sure.
And yeah, super stoked about that. So we do have dealers. Go to the website. Check them out. Like I said, we're very particular, and they're all awesome. You really can't go wrong. So be sure to check it out. Oh, also Hong Kong. Also South Korea. So Asia as well. You know, we try to leave no stone unturned and have at least one great dealer in every part of the world, even if it's a drive for some people.
And there may be a European piece fitting into this whole puzzle soon.
Yes, an EU piece.
But so more about that later this year.
Let's see. Dylan. Oh, what's up, dude? So stoked to get the new Limited in my hands. Yeah, good to hear from you, man. Dylan has a guitar pre-ordered and has been an awesome hang. So shout out, man. Thanks for dropping in. Kai says, I think I must have missed oil and wax on the builder when I got mine. Is it off the menu now? No. Oh, is it?
Yeah, I believe we did take it off of the builder at one point. We haven't added it back because it wasn't a very popular option, to be completely transparent.
That's right.
And we tend to move things in and out of the builder over a certain period of time if we want to make room for other options.
Yes.
But it is still an option, just not something that's available in the builder. If we start feeling like there's more interest, we'll probably add it back.
Yeah.
We also have changed the formula a few times on how we do the oil and wax finish in Korea versus here. So that also has been fine-tuned. So if anyone does get an oil and wax finish in the future, just know we've gone through a few revisions and now we're kind of happy with where we're at.
Yeah. And it's definitely, piggybacking on the transparency, the reason that we often have people ask, well, like, why do you even take an option away? Like, why not just have all the options? And it's a fair question, because if we could, we would. The main reason is it helps us keep everything at a price that we want it to be at, because we want, if you want to build a $3,000 tricked out Balaguer Select Custom, you can do that. If you want to build a $2,000 more stripped back version, you can do that. And I'm just throwing numbers out there, but we want you to be able to build what you want. And what helps us keep the price reasonable is strategically making options available over time. And we also just test stuff out. People who've been around recently know that we've added Richlight recently, which has become a crazy popular option.
Yes.
So much so that I kind of regret not doing it on my latest build.
Yeah, it's a composite option for a fingerboard wood.
Right.
So it's essentially compressed wood, compressed paper, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
But it has
came from trees.
Layers of resin and phenolic material that create an incredibly stable, rigid material to use for fingerboards. And what's great about that is with humidity and temperature fluctuations, it doesn't react the same way a normal typical wood fingerboard would react, such as contracting and expanding, leaving the fret ends poking out, aka fret sprout. So Rich Light is definitely
aka fret sprout.
Yeah, Rich Light is definitely something to check out if you're thinking about ordering a custom guitar from us and you live in a area of the world where the climate is kind of all over the place.
Yep, and especially as certain specs have climbed to the top of like modern players' demands, where it's like, you know, roasted woods were probably the first one I can think of where people started appreciating the additional stability as well as the aesthetic of roasted necks. And then you see things like stainless steel frets, locking tuners, those sorts of things that add stability are things that, like, there's a reason those are in all of our builds. You know, pretty much everything that we produce in any sort of number is going to have, well, and it's all going to have stainless steel frets, locking tuners, probably a roasted maple neck unless we're doing something special. And you may start seeing Rich Light. And that's because what we provide, we want you to be able to, you know, whether you're vanquishing your foes and literally smashing them upside the head with the guitar, or you're just jamming it out on stage and smashing it against, you know, whatever, front row people. Like, that's what we want you to be able to do, whatever you want. And so you'll see stuff like that in our production.
Right.
What else we got going on? Gianluca. First Balaguer I saw in person was Andy Thomas's Thicket. It was sick. Yeah. Andy Thomas, absolutely massive riffer.
Yes. Also, old friend of mine.
Yeah. And his builds are sick. He actually has another one on the way. He's definitely a monster player, and those builds are sick.
Yeah. Originally, his band, the Black Crown Initiate, was his main gig, and then he joined a band called Rivers of Nile.
Oh, yeah.
Also another Pennsylvania native death metal band.
Yes.
So check them out if you have not.
Yes, definitely check them out because it is the good stuff.
Yeah.
Gianluca says, if a certain wood gets taken off of the builder, does that mean there are limited quantities and or it is out of stock?
Yes and no. Yes, we do remove wood.
Maybe.
Yeah, yes, we do remove wood when we start getting lower quantities. Yeah. But that is normally not the main option as to why we would remove a wood. Yeah. Normally, it's because we cannot get it at all. Or we received a large shipment and it needs to be kiln dried and reach a specific moisture meter reading in order for us to even mill it safely, so it won't move around while the neck's being built. So that's normally the main reason, but we always try and give a heads up via social media or email list, like subscriber list, email blast, that we're going to be removing a specific option.
Which, by the way, back to the website, we have a newsletter section of the website. Sign up. We're not like spamming people. You know, we might send out a handful a month, if even that. And it's really stuff like that. It's, hey, we're running a big sale. Or, hey, this wood is going to be limited for a little while, so if you want to get it now, or whatever. If you've been to the builder, you know that we deal in a lot of exotic woods. Most of them without insane amounts of money. You can't really build up insane amounts of stock with. So Joe, I can't take any credit, builds that stuff up in a way where we have it when we need it, and then when it gets low, we can make it work.
Yeah, and there's some woods we just don't add to the builder because we only have like 6 blanks of a specific fingerboard or a specific neck, but we'll do limited drops in a month. Like back in, I think it was April, we did a few different limited option drops for a select custom builder. Yep. One of which was Pale Moon, Ebony, neck shafts, and tops. And
full-on solid one-piece Pale Moon Ebony necks.
And it wasn't something we added to the builder, but it was like a product that we added separate of the builder that you had to reserve while you were placing your actual guitar order through the builder itself.
Yeah.
So you'll see that every now and again when we have like private stock options that we only have a handful of pieces that we want to offer up, but it's not worth the development time and energy to put it in the builder just to remove it a week later.
Yeah. And the flip side of sort of the knowledge of that stuff is like, obviously you can be subscribed to the newsletter, but if you want more up-to-date stuff, really, it's the live stream where we talk about this stuff, and also the Facebook discussion group. None of us are out here shaking hands with Marky Zuckerberg, but at the same time, Facebook is great for staying in touch with stuff like that. We have a Balaguer Guitars page, which is like the main page, like our Instagram. And then we also have the Balaguer Guitars Facebook discussion group, affectionately known as the BGFBDG.
I'm glad you remember that.
A nickname that came around in the live stream because we used to live stream only in the Facebook discussion group.
That's true.
Go there. That's where we post the most stuff about like, hey, what does everyone think about this? Or, hey, we think we're going to have this. That's where you're going to get the most immediate response. And it's also where, if you want to hang out with other like-minded Balagarians, that is the place to do that.
Definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel though and hit the notification bell to make sure you're, not to be a typical YouTuber shill, but
we've been laughing about that so much.
But it really does help.
Like and comment and subscribe.
Because you may think you've subscribed to our channel, but if you haven't, or maybe you have, but you don't have notifications turned on, it would be nice if we rewound time like 10 years ago when YouTube was just easy for everyone.
Yeah, it's true.
Or any of the platforms. But,
but check it out.
Algorithms.
Yes, algorithms indeed. Capital A, I.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe.
I truly did not.
He was waiting for that. He's been waiting for that the whole stream.
I've not, no.
Jean-Luc says, interesting, I didn't know that. Yeah, the moisture content of wood is super important, and it's a big part of how we plan things out.
Yep.
Kai says he has 4 Balagers with roasted maple necks and ebony fretboards now. I actually have 1, 2, I think 3 with roasted maple necks and ebony boards. It's a very popular wood combination for very good reasons. It looks rad, it sounds rad, and it's stable. So definitely a solid combination. Roasted maple tends to have a little bit of warmth over plain maple, and then ebony has that snap and clarity. They're very cool together as a pair. They make for a very classic, well-balanced tone out of the neck.
Yeah.
EV says, would the light rich light fretboard option match a roasted neck?
Yes. So they have
very close.
They have a few different hues as well. So if you have an idea in mind, like if you go to Rich Light's website or you find some picture online, just shoot us a message on social media or shoot us an email at info@balaguerguitars.com, and we will make sure
comment, subscribe.
Yeah, we will make sure that we match whatever hue that is to the neck.
Yeah,
that's no problem.
Yeah, and it is very close. If you've seen roasted bird's eye maple, the sort of default color hue of light rich light looks very much like when you imagine a roasted bird's eye board, that's what it looks like. And you can go slightly lighter or slightly darker, like Joe said. Yeah,
we also have such a vast inventory of roasted maple for necks that you could say like, hey, I would prefer a darker neck like this, or medium or light.
Roast.
But most of the time they'll come out looking like this, which is like an amber medium roast, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So that's what you could expect.
Synchronized guitar flipping.
From a hue standpoint.
Yeah, pretty close. Let's see. Gianluca says, that Pale Moon run was crazy. Props to you guys. Thanks.
I appreciate that,
It was very cool. And we also, be sure to check out Drop D Guitars. They're in Chattanooga, Tennessee, in the States. And Matt over at Drop D did an awesome run of growlers where he did 7 strings and 6 strings. They both had Pale Moon Ebony fingerboards. The 7 strings had solid Pale Moon Ebony necks.
Yeah, they were wild.
6 strings had, was it solid rosewood? No, I can't remember. It was another.
Well, it was Macassar Ebony.
Oh, Macassar. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, it was Macassar Ebony necks on the 6 strings and Pale Moon Ebony necks on the 7 strings.
Yeah, all solid one piece, and they were rad. And some of we had a stock for a little while of Pale Moon Ebony that had these like mineral streaks of red in them, and we started calling them Blood Moon Ebony. And some of his necks came out with those red streaks in it, and I'm not even kidding. It's not often that we have to be like, oh, we're about to take guitars from our own stock. But like that was a conversation we were having because they were so rad. And yeah, they're out there in the wild and they rip. Yeah, the Blood Moon is so cool, man. Joe Kai says, Joe can recall every bit of spec from a March 22 build, but can't remember BGF, BDG.
No.
Yeah.
There's too many letters in different, yeah. Hurts my brain.
Joe's been waiting to say that. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Juan says, playing the YouTube gamer dudes. I like that. Yeah, that's the vibe for sure.
Yeah.
We're going for somewhere between modern YouTuber with their background too dark and too many RGB lights to that pedal show. Somewhere in the middle where it's nice and welcoming, but still doesn't look like we're too old.
We need some new stools, though.
We do need some new stools.
I can tell you that much.
Yeah, the stools are brutal. That one hurts your butt, and this one.
Oh yeah.
You may have noticed two things. One,
I'm ready just to go. Okay, Jake.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play the rest of the stream like this.
Just chop the top of your head off.
Yeah.
The other one is I'm sitting, and you can see how short I am. I am not. Joe and I are about the same height, but I am like 6 inches.
He's 5'3".
Yeah, I'm 5'3". That's me. I'm like that one section of. I'm like the old school Wolverine. You know, I'm like super tiny.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. But yes, Kai says, quit calling me out. Too bad, man. You're too cool, and you have too many cool Balaguer things, and you're too nice. So we need new chairs. Yes. While this one doesn't hurt my butt, I am slowly shrinking, and also it is very squeaky, or at least it was early.
It's because it's a drum throne.
Oh yeah, I'm on a drum throne, and not a nice one.
That's why
like
it's
a
squeaky.
knockoff one.
Yeah.
But that was loud. Sorry if that clipped. We usually do this for about an hour.
Yeah.
So we're coming up on time. Friendly reminder, every other Friday, this is what we do. It's been in the Balaguer Facebook discussion group for the last year or so. If you're not a member of the Facebook discussion group and you want to be up to date on everything we do as fast as possible,
come hang out.
That's the place to do it. We're always in there. We do this every other week, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. It will be scheduled out on YouTube so you can see it in the playlist. Info@BalaguerGuitars.com. That's the email address to use if you have any questions. If you want to reach out to us and you don't want to do it in the Facebook discussion group or anything like that, totally cool. Obviously, leave us any comments. We do come back to the questions even if it's not live, so be sure to drop those.
Yeah.
Bunch of cool stuff coming out in the next couple of months.
Wish we could tell you.
Yeah, stuff that we can't talk about, and then also stuff that we can. Espada Ambience, Espada Limiteds, Growler T-Bar, Tony Pizzuti's signature Growler.
Yep.
One thing we totally forgot to talk about, USA Series Seraph Modern.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of people, our USA Series runs are very limited quantity, and we've done the Espada twice now in different versions, and we decided to change it up. The Seraph is a model we released at NAMM this year. It's become very popular. We're very happy to say, so thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
And we're doing a USA run. Check them out on the website. They're coming in gloss metallic black, gloss metallic rose gold, one of our most popular recent finishes, and gloss metallic jewel white, which is a custom white finish that's like somewhere in between white and off and like vintage white, but it's metallic and it changes in the light. Super cool stuff. Those are tricked out. Roasted flame maple necks, roasted flame maple boards, fission bucker pickups.
6 and 7 string options.
6 and 7 string options. So if you want to be the classiest 7-string wielder within a 10,000 mile radius, you know what to do.
And those are 27-inch scale.
Yeah, the 7 strings are 27 inch, the 6 strings are 25 and a half.
Yep.
So it's a rad run. We totally forgot to mention that. Yeah, hip shot hardware, hip shot IBI bridges. Yeah. Super cool.
You can take deposits, or we're taking deposits on our website.
Yeah, you don't have to pay in full
or
deposit.
Or you can hit up Drop D.
Yeah, Matt at Drop D again.
In Tennessee, so We still have some slots left, but they're definitely filling up.
Yes. We'll probably talk more about those in the next live stream because they probably warrant their own conversation.
Yeah,
all
for
on
sure.
their own.
For sure.
But not too bad for episode 1, right?
Yeah. I hope everyone had a good time hanging out.
Yeah.
And we look forward to doing many more of these.
We do. Last question I'll catch. I usually do a lightning round thing at the end. So if you got questions, let them rip. The only one I see new right now, Gianluca, has there been an 8-string Seraph build yet?
Yes.
Yes. Submitted, yes. In the wild, no. We're still building it.
Also has a custom finish as well.
It does also have a custom finish.
I remember mocking it up.
Yep, it is sick. So you will see it. It's a very cool build. Yep. I'm actually really stoked for that one. Good question. And what we used to do is jam. I would put my guitar down and you'd see my butt as I walked out of the frame.
Not no mo.
Not no mo, because we got that Stream Deck magic now. So we're going to jam for a bit. I'll fade it out at some point, and then, we'll shut it down. So happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Hope everyone has a great weekend. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Thanks again.
Please come back. Like, comment, and subscribe. Please come back because we talk about new stuff every live stream, and it's a lot of fun. So we will see everyone soon. Hope everyone has a great weekend, and we're gonna riff for a bit.
Yep. Good weekend.